Hello and welcome to the Last Standards Care Business Podcast. Today is another great day to treat a very important topic, very dear to many care providers in the UK. We're looking at the second method that we earlier mentioned, which is the council client sourcing strategy. And it's important that you pay close attention to what this strategy means for you as a care provider and how you're able to benefit fully from this strategy. Just to run it up, it is what we normally call tender writing or contract writing for care providers. We mentioned that there are two main ways of getting clients for a business: the private client sourcing and council client sourcing. This very one is about the council client sourcing, which is by writing tender or contract, qualifying you onto a framework as an approved supplier. It's very important as a care provider, you very much understand what goes into this, what are the timelines, and what is the utmost benefit that you are going to get as a care provider. Truth be told, upon registering as a care provider, yes, you are registered with a local authority, but they will not come to you to offer you service users. Nobody's going to call you to say, look, we have a number of service users. So now that you are newly registered with us, here are a number of service users for your business or for you to take care of. It doesn't happen. If it used to happen, that is in the past. As we speak now, no. You need to do the hard work of looking for the client. So we spoke extensively about the private client. This very episode is for the contracting and tender writing. It's very, very important. All right. So what do we mean by writing tender? Let me explain the concept so you can understand very well what we mean. The council, as we know, is more so like the mother and father of everybody within the community or within that particular council. What the council does is to put all the elderly that need care, right, in a bracket or in a basket, which I'm explaining this in a layman's and I'm to a layman's understanding. So that bracket or basket is what we call the contract or tender to a layperson. And so it could be the case that you may have about, say, maybe 1,000 service users between the age of about 45 or even below to whatever God would have them, maybe 100 years. And these persons will be needing care from providers. Some of the council, they would then put this package up as a contract. If it's a low value, if it's a very huge value per their estimate, it will be considered as a tender. Now, there is an opening day where, or period of time where care providers that are registered with CQC will make the application, and then with the aim of qualifying or being successful at the application so they can become approved suppliers. When that happens, the council has timelines when one after the deadline, they'll have market engagement, explain to approved suppliers, successful providers, what would very much go into the package. So you understand fully what is the expectation of the council. You understand? So that is the logic that the various local authorities within England, work with. Now, what you need to understand is the fact that the client in question or the service users, right, are the very persons that would make your business become successful. A business without clients or customers is no business. So if you are a care provider, a solid understanding of what tendering and contracting means will save your company, and make you good money in the shortest possible time. One will ask, what is the benefit if I should go the council route by applying for tenders or getting onto a framework? And I have a list of them here. I'm going to be walking you through so you can very much understand what it means to win a tender with the council or with a buyer. Number one point is that it gives you guaranteed access to clients, which is very, very true. Guaranteed access to clients. Being on the council framework makes you an approved supplier. Don't forget that. It makes you an approved supplier. So you are differentiated, or you are separated from a care company that has not written this contract. You understand? The councils can only buy from approved suppliers which are on their list, and you need to know that. So it's very important. Now, this creates a steady flow of client referrals for you when you become an approved supplier. For those who don't know, rather than going about struggling to get private clients, the moment you are able to get successful, within a council on the contract opportunity, it creates a steady flow of client referrals for you. You're going to be getting call-offs on the regular for you to express interest if you're able to provide care for these service users that the council will be sending your way. So that's one thing you need to know. The second point I want to talk about is credibility and trust. The councils and buyers, have vetted you to ensure that you are compliant, your finances are okay, your policies and processes that you use in conducting, your business is okay with them. And that is a huge one. It means that you are doing a good thing or a good job. So therefore, it's more so like a sign of positive behavior, for you as a business. You can also use this to market yourself to private clients, which is very true. For you to be successful at or with any particular contract opportunity is invariably you trying to tell the whole world that, look, my processes are good and that I know what I'm doing. I can work with you. You understand? That's very important. So the families are able to see this as a proof of credibility, reliability, and trustworthiness. It's very important that you know this as a care provider. Now, what also happens when you begin getting call-ups? And I must explain here that the tender writing is a process. I would, at some point in my presentation, I'm going to walk you through what are the timelines, right, from the application period of time to when to start getting clients. For somebody who will be interested in knowing that, it's very important that you know the timelines. So what do you get from tenders if you win them? It gives you financial stability. Financial stability. Of course, local authority referrals would give you regular work and consistent billing. You're able to provide invoices to local authority on the regular as you get more referrals, and then you're able to cover more hours with them. You understand? You are then able to balance this by growing your private client base at higher rates. You understand? So even if the rates are lower than private, framework can provide the cash flow and security, which is very true. And so financial stability would help you to be able to spend more to market to private clients. You understand? Because we've established that it's kind of expensive writing to private clients or marketing to private clients. It's very expensive marketing to private clients because you have to create that visibility for yourself, do a lot more of direct sales, right? Increase your presence within the locality you are based. So it's quite a lot. Now, another point you need to know about tender writing is that you are indirectly marketing without paying for any ads. So if I'm going to write a tender valued at about, say, maybe £2 million or £5 million, okay, and with this, I'm going to be getting referrals from the local authority on the regular. That is free marketing for me. I'm marketing myself to these referrals without having to pay a dime to anybody. See, one of the very important benefits of writing tenders. You understand? So tendering itself is a form of marketing, which is very true. Each submission tells commissioners that, hey, we exist and we are capable. And even if you don't win the first time, you raise your profile and can be remembered for future sports contracts. It's very, very important that you know this. You understand? So we encourage that you write more tenders. It's very, very important. The next point I want to talk about is competitive advantage that many providers fail to even apply because they don't understand tendering. So if you win a place, you are immediately ahead of the majority who rely only on word of mouth. A lot of providers don't understand why they should write tenders. So for you who understands this and then puts in the work, it means that you are ahead competitively, right? of the persons or the providers that do not go this way. You understand? Framework membership limits competition because only approved providers get contacted. You understand? So once you are successful at any particular contract opportunity, right, you get to be contacted by the council, and then of course, you get a call-offs. You understand? So again, let me talk about another point: ability to scale. Framework allows you to expand faster, which is very true. It's similar points that I've made before. You get more referrals, and with this, you're able to what? More staff recruitment. You can recruit and then get more hours to deliver care. It's very, very necessary that you know these things. So, what is the timeline for contract writing? What is the timeline? Usually, you would have the application opening period. That is the time given by the council to receive applications from prospective suppliers, that is care providers. Now, between the application deadline, right, to when next you are going to get feedback from the council, it depends on the councils. You may have a council that within a month they're able to give you feedback, which is a very hard one. You don't oftentimes get that from a lot of councils. We are looking at between a period of 1 month to 4 months, sometimes 5 months, to get the councils to evaluate and then give you responses, either successful or unsuccessful. Next to that, if they are okay, right, with the number of providers that have made the application or successful, then of course they would not bother. They will just go straight to having the call-offs sent over to you. That is upon going live. But if you are not okay with that list and they want to reduce the list further, you would see some of them would have what they call mini competition or further competition in attempt to actually reduce the number of providers that have passed the first stage. You understand? After the competition and after all of that is done, they then would have another period of time that they will get back to the approved suppliers. And usually you would have either a month or two waiting period before the contract will go live. If the contract goes live, that is where you are happy as an approved supplier. So once the contract goes live, on a regular, they're going to be sending you the referrals. It's normally what we call the call-off period. So it depends on the council. Some councils would send multiple referrals, so 10, 15, 20 service users to all approved suppliers to look to say which one would you want to work with, check the list, check their conditions, and then put in your word. Sometimes they ask basic questions, you understand, your staff numbers, how much will you charge, that is your rate, your charge rate and all of that. They ask all of those questions. So you get to answer basic questions, and then of course you take on the packages. So that is what it is, when you work with the council. So in all, we are looking at application period to when you are able to or likely get your first client from the council. It may take between 5 to about 10 months, thereabouts. Sometimes it may even go longer than that if the council is not ready to go live. It means you have to wait. But it's good that you do it because you cannot compare being on the framework, right, to not being on the framework. The two are not comparable. Not being on the framework means that you have to put in a lot of work towards getting the client privately. And being on the framework gives you the opportunity to actually get the referrals, just as we've talked about, and the benefits thereof. The benefit thereof, right, from the council. So it's a good thing to actually apply for tenders. You understand? How do I go about applying for these tenders? We always say if you can do any work in the corporate space, if you're able to do anything very well, then there's no need to actually outsource it to anybody. You understand? So you need to look for how to recruit your own team or do it yourself. But if it's going to cost you more to do it yourself and you're able to give it to an outside, a third party, maybe a consulting company like Plus Tenders, you look at how different they are compared to others and what is the benefit in working with them. Their pricing, is it something that is okay, which will save you more money than having to do it yourself? I would suggest for the package that we have at Plus Tenders, it is important that you have us do this for you because we're looking at minimum of 5 applications for you. And why you don't need to just write one contract is this. If it's going to take one council between 6 to 10 months to really go live, right? Then it means that just focusing on one is not enough. You understand? Just focusing on one council or one tender, right, is not enough. So we write 5 tenders within a period of 6 months for our clients. You understand? So it could be earlier than that, or maximum we should be doing that within 6 months. But then it's a relationship that we work with. We sort of work for you, so we take a lot of instructions from you regards to how we should go about that work. You understand? So we write 5 applications for you, and then in that we hope that we are going to get some businesses from the councils. So tender writing is a good thing, and as a care provider, the earlier you understand this strategy and then start working on it, the better for you. We encourage and advise even before you become CQC provider, that consult with a consultant, right, to find out what opportunities they're able to get for you. There are some instances where you may have contracts that is not just for care providers registered with CQC only, right? So you need to very much know what to do so you are not losing opportunities. And then when you become CQC registered, for that you don't have a choice. You very much must write tenders right from the word go. I would advise tender writing to anybody who is a care provider as early as possible. Start it. It's very good and very important. Without tenders, what are you waiting for? That is where you have providers that stay on for 2 years, 3 years, and they don't have any client. And maybe they have a client, the client passes on, and then they are left with no client at all. Your business cannot grow and cannot survive without clients. And the service users here are your clients. How do you get them? It's your work to do. And if somebody is doing it for you, then you need to understand what the person is doing so you can work collaboratively and get to your desired results. It's very, very important. You understand? So I hope this video helps to give you clarity regards to the work that you are in. And we are just a stone throw away if you need further information on council client sourcing. You understand? So we are able to provide you the details that you need or you want. Thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to seeing you as one of our clients in no time.